How's it going, everybody? It's your neighborhood local Squatchy, and today I'm going to show you two things, tools, things, stuff I've ruined and made work for the better that'll help you out in your electrical testing. Now, this isn't going to be a rundown on how to do electrical testing, but I'll use each of them in a situation to where you can kind of get an idea of what I use them for and how they may help you out. So if you've seen my toolbox tour video, I kind of alluded to it in that video. I picked it up and I said, oh, my box is gone. I left them at my old job. Now I only have one. I used to have a whole box of them. You can get them for like $2-3 at Joann's, but it's a T-pin. People use it for sewing, for sticking stuff together, holding fabric, blah, blah, blah. But I'm going to show you how a mechanic can use this, make your life that much easier. Basically, we're going to use it to hook into a circuit without having to disconnect it safely without cutting the insulation on the wire. Okay, so say for example, we wanted to test our mass airflow sensor here and make sure that we have a good ground. Basically what we would do is we would find the ground circuit, which is this black wire here, and we're going to take our T-pin and gently slide it in to the back side of that connector, okay? So now that we have our T-pin hooked up into the back of our connector, we got our alligator clip connected to one of the leads on our meter. We're going to take the other lead of our meter, kind of give it a little scratch to the top of the cylinder head, and boom, 1.5, 1.6 ohms of resistance from the top of the cylinder head to the ground circuit of our connector. That means this is a good ground, and that whatever problem we are having with our mass airflow sensor, it's not the ground. You can do the same exact thing for voltage. Say we wanted to test that same wire for 12 volts. You would touch it to ground, turn your meter to voltage, and whatever it is, it would show you. Obviously 0 volts because this is a ground circuit, it's not going to have voltage going through it. But you get the idea. Okay, so we're going to simulate a possible bad starter. Basically this is going to be a no crank, no start on my own vehicle, and I'm going to show you how I use a relay to test that and make sure that the starter is not the faulty component. Let's get into it. So we're going to hop in my car, turn the key on, let it go through its little deal. Nothing. I think my starter's bad. Let's go do our test and see if that's the case. So here we are, we pulled the lid off of our fuse block and we can see that that is the crank relay. I pulled him out, pulled the crank relay out. It's this guy right here. And basically all this is a relay with the cover taken off that you can manually activate. So we're gonna put him into the spot of the original crank relay, and we're gonna see if the starter is our problem, if we have a dead battery, something along those lines. Nope. So by doing that, now you know that your starter's good, the battery's good, and all of the heavy gauge wire from your battery to your starter and the ground from the starter to the engine block, they're all good. And you know that the solenoid wire that goes from the starter up to this relay is also good because this cranked the car. It turned the engine over. So we know that our problem is something is not triggering this relay. Now, if you have a separate relay like me, it could be a bad relay, so swap the relay for a known good one. Try it again. If that works, great. If not, your problem is basically from the ignition switch to the relay box, the fuse box, whatever, to this relay. Could be a bad terminal here, could be a broken wire from your ignition switch to the fuse block, or, dropped it, or it could be a bad ignition switch. So, doing this didn't tell you exactly what was wrong, but it told you what's not wrong. The starter's good, the battery's good, and all of the wiring from the fuse block to the starter and from the starter to the battery is good. So the only thing you need to look for is from the ignition switch to this relay, or a fuse that controls this circuit. So you eliminated half of the possibilities that it could have been in 5 seconds by swapping the relay for this little guy and manually triggering it yourself. And that'll work with pretty much anything that's controlled by a relay. So your defroster, your headlights, starter motor, radio, if it's controlled by a relay, it wouldn't be controlled by a relay. Anything controlled by a relay, you can do that trick and physically turn that component on. Well guys, that's going to be it for me today. I know this isn't like the end-all, be-all, electrical guru, everything you need to know about electrical testing, but if you're kind of getting your feet wet, if you're new to the automotive industry, or if you've been in it for 30 years and happen to not know these two tricks somehow, these are just two little simple tricks that might help you out, help you save some time, help you get your car diagnosed if you're a DIYer, or help you diagnose a customer's car if you're in a shop. If this helped you out, guys, leave a like down below. Make sure to subscribe. Leave a comment down below if you have any other helpful tips and tricks in the automotive industry. Thank you guys so much for watching. I hope you guys enjoyed. Have a good day.